Okay, so Sam Clowes then, and everyone makes their way up to the position on the grid, getting ready for the race start. Like I say, a 30 bike grid, so plenty of people to get into position. So we'll get the green flag from the back in just a moment. The marshals are happy, pointing up towards the starting gantry then. The red lights will come on in any second. Getting ready for the race start. Red lights on now. Out the red light goes. Decent start there from Brad Ray. Blake Ansell as well, not doing too badly. James Blackburn was trying to force his way up the inside into second place, but has to settle for third place. We've got a massive gaggle of bikes coming up the hill and up towards Christmas Corner for the first time, but Brad Ray has taken the race lead on this 12-lap race. And it's up towards turn number 60, right-handed hairpin for the first time. All rather tight indeed, of course, with these two different classes. A couple of bikes going onto the grass already, trying to get that extra traction, a bit of extra momentum. Through turns 7 and 8, the battle for second place between Ansell and Blackburn looking rather feisty indeed, and that actually could be the battle for the lead as they follow through the boot, the left and then the right for the first time out of 12 over the line. And Brad Ray's not going to have it all his way. Blake Ansell is going to be challenging over the line. So James Blackburn comes over the line for third. Jamie King up into fourth. Alex Vellum into fifth, ahead of Mark Evans and Will Howarth. Sam Clowes then in 8th place with Sean Whitaker in 9th. 10th for Darren Anderson. Ben Pascoe is in 11th. 12th for Brandon Perrill. Fraser Kinnaird in 13th. 14th for Elliot Lodge. 15th for Neil Kinnaird. And for the rest of the grid, it will be Simon Clowes in 16th, Mark Pollett in 17th, 18th for Ben Brunt, Tony Campana Senior in 19th, 20th place for Leo Smith. We'll go through the rest of the grid in a few moments, but the battle for the race lead, 3-bike battle between Brad Ray, Blake Anderson and James Blackburn. Ray does very well in the first portion of the lap and then just seems to struggle a bit through the final portions, going around the back straight, through the boot and the pit turn for the final corner, and is very slow in fact out of the final corner. Looks over his left shoulder to make sure Blake Ansell's not too close, and he was quite close but struggles with turn number 1. So Brad Ray making the best out of it. A great run though from James Blackburn. It's going to go 3 wide as they come up towards the Christmas Corner on the very right hand side for James Blackburn. He did take the lead ever so briefly. Brad Ray using his years of experience though to make his way through and just use the cutback in order to retake the position. So James Blackburn over into second place, down to third place for Blake Ansell. A bit of a sitting duck really there. But so Jamie King with the fastest lap on that last lap, 1.7 seconds behind the leaders, 54.260, all very tight at the front. And as they make their way now through the boot, it's between Brad Ray and I believe James Blackburn as they come through the final couple of corners. Now they're going to go side by side. They're very close through the exit of the pit turn over the line. Almost squeezing him onto the grass there for James Blackburn. Brad Ray does take the position though, so he's still in the lead ahead of James Blackburn, Jamie King, Alex Vellum, Mark Evans, Will Howarth, Sam Clowes, Whitaker, Anderson and Pascoe, with Blake Ansell, I think, dropping back. We've got someone off at turn number 6 and 7, so yes, so I think Ray's actually gone down to second place in all of the madness, with James Blackburn taking the position on the exit of turn number 6, lead through turns 7 and 8. Brad Ray's not seen this in this race so far. He's not seen the back of anyone else really, so he's going to have to think of a way through. Some great riding from the pair of them, but Blackburn through the boot, yellow flag at the exit of the boot with someone just trying to get their bike restarted at the moment. But Brad Ray is down to second place with Blackburn over the line. Fastest lap for him on that one, 54.238. 0.2 of a second may seem a lot from some of the classes, but in this it's absolutely nothing. They were wheel to wheel going up towards the Christmas Corner. Very tight indeed through the right hand of the complex, the right, the left, the right, and then another right, which is the hairpin. And Brad Ray, is he going to go for the cutback? I have a sense he is. They're very tight on that apex. They get the bike stopped very nicely indeed, using all the concrete exit in order to get the position. There's also a great battle going on for 4th place at the moment, which was Alex Vella over the line on that last lap. Mark Evans, Will Howarth and Sam Clowes as well, all getting involved in that 4-bike battle. which sees the first of the Moto team bikes in there with the pit bikes, so all competing on more or less level pegging. Brad Ray fastest lap on that last lap, but he is still in second place behind James Blackburn, the 132 ahead of the 28. Mark Evans now up into fourth place with Alex Vella down to fifth. It is Will Howarth and Simon Clowes though in sixth and seventh. That great battle there. Great battles all around at the moment, but as they make their way up towards turn number 6, 5 laps completed, nearly the halfway distance already, can you believe? But it still is Brad Ray having to battle for the lead of the race. The battle for fourth place as well. Mark Evans at the head of that so far, gone onto the grass trying to defend. Great stuff, really holding each other up, which is slowing them down so more people can catch up, but providing some entertaining racing as they go down the main straight, or the back straight, up towards the boot, the left-hander. Sam Clowes trying to have a look at the inside. James Blackburn and Brad Ray coming over the line to start the half distance. Great stuff from them. They went around the outside each of a back marker, so some great stuff from there. But Alex Vella's made his way back up into fourth place. Mark Evans down to fifth. Will Howarth and Sam Clowes also trying really hard to catch up the hill. They're going to try and go side by side. Mark does go, in fact, Mark Evans does go up the inside to try and maintain the position. Alex Vella's not having much of it though. So an update then at the half distance. It is James Blackburn in the lead of the race ahead of Brad Ray, Jamie King, Alex Vella, Mark Evans, Will Howarth and Sam Clowes, your top 7 ahead of Whittaker, Anderson and Pascoe. So as they make their way around now, crossing the line for lap number 7. Lots of bikes out there. There's definitely some traffic coming up for them soon, and quite a lot of traffic coming up for them as well. Fastest lap then, 53.909 for James Blackburn. Him and Brad Ray really challenging laps for each other to make sure they can really keep on top of each other. Just a quarter of a second between the pair of them as someone goes wide up at turn number 6. Just trying to avoid everything going off in the grass, but carries on. So the leaders are now encountering traffic, which is going to add a whole new dimension to this battle as the midfield having some fantastic squabbling. Really entertaining stuff, especially for the riders, because you can have a battle with pretty much everyone. So as they make their way now through 7 and 8, it's looking very tight indeed, and it's just slowing each other up. This is what's a nightmare for the riders really, because trying to battle away for the race lead. They've managed to get through a couple of them fine, but we'll see how it is in just a moment's time. James Blackburn's still in the lead. Brad Ray a little bit closer than he was on the previous lap, coming through turn 1 and 2. Absolutely close as can be. You've got to thread through so many different riders. For them, it's unbelievable. The battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Still Mark Evans now in the lead of that. Jamie King's having a very quiet race at the moment in 3rd place, but it's Mark Evans, Alex Vella, Will Howarth and Sam Clowes to 7th place, turn 1 and 2. And it's fantastic stuff. Again, they're battling for the lead. This is what this kind of racing is. 30 bikes on track, or 28 I believe at the moment, for the PB140s and Moto teams. Such different bikes, but having such a close race with each other. 2 championships in one, very close for each other, but as they're about to cross the line for lap 9 out of 12, so just 3 and a bit laps remaining anyway for them. So 0.595 is the gap between Brad Ray and James Blackburn. So Blackburn's still in the lead and has got a more comfortable lead than he's had at any point in the race. The traffic has really not helped Brad Ray. It has for James Blackburn. Will Howarth has moved up to 5th place, 6th place for Sam Clowes, Alex Vella down to 7th, who was in 4th place at one point. So he's had a couple of tricky laps for him as well. Up towards Christmas Corner they go as well, and further down the field as well. It is still Darren Anderson, still second in class for the Moto teams, ahead of Fraser Kinnaird. Brandon Perrill in 12th place, 13th place for Neil Kinnaird, ahead of Simon Clowes, Mark Pollitt, Ben Brunt in 15th and 16th. Tony Campana Senior ahead of Elliot Lodge and Keith Bolton, 20th place Leo Smith. Vince Bailey's gotten ahead of Anthony Perrill, Peter Robertson in 23rd. Over the line now, lap 10. 2 laps left to go. 1 second gap between Blackburn and Ray. Can Ray pull something out of his bag in the next 2 laps in order to close up to Blackburn? Blackburn just seems to have gone off ever since the traffic has come out. Of course, it's gotten a bit warm in the temperature of the track as well, We did have a brief respite with cloud coverage, but now the sun's come firmly out as well, making it even hotter on those bikes. So as we get to the later stages in this race, and James Blackburn's really enjoying it, looking over his right shoulder going through turn number 9, just to make sure, see where Brad Ray is. Not too close, not too intimidating for him so far, but Blackburn through the final corner. The final lap flag is being waved, so only one more lap for him to do. Fastest lap on that last lap, 53.836, which means 1.7 seconds to gap between James and Brad for first and second. Jamie King over the line to come third on the final lap. Mark Evans was in the lead of that battle for fourth. Fifth is Will Howarth, sixth is Sam Clowes, and Alex Vella in seventh at the moment. So the leading Moto team of Will Howarth currently in fifth place. The next one down the road is in 10th place at the moment. Darren Anderson just on his fastest lap, but a second on the Moto team ahead of Fraser Kinnaird. So really mixing in Will Howarth compared to the pit bike guys out there. Really big grunty engines, which helps them get off the corners very quickly indeed, which even someone around here with some of the quicker corners helps a lot. And the checker flag is about to be waved as James Blackburn, left fist punching in the air. He's very happy with that victory. Had a Brad Ray 2.428 seconds ahead of the Brad Ray, the BSB rider. So great stuff for them. So James Blackburn takes the checker flag. Jamie King, a very lonely third place, it must be said. A great race from him though. Good ride, not really had to deal with many people. Mark Evans just come over in fourth, ahead of Will Howarth, Sam Clowes and Alex Vella. In seventh place, or just come over now, Sean Whittaker.